I'm in Flint, Michigan, once known as Vehicle City, built on the backs of the American auto worker and American ingenuity. However, economic downturns in the automotive industry and lack of employment have changed this once great community to a place known for high crime and lead-filled water.
Good morning. Although the state claims that Flint's water quality has met federal standards for 3 years now, many residents tell us they don't trust officials and they still don't trust the water. One person told us yesterday that no amount of money can heal the suffering of those impacted by this crisis, and the coronavirus pandemic is just making their situation worse.
But Flint has been making a comeback in a big way, renovating its downtown and giving it a whole new look. Iconic but long abandoned buildings are being renovated and replaced by growing enterprises. They have also been cleaning the city's water supply by replacing older pipes and switching its water source and provider. Joining my investigation is Genesee County Sheriff Chris Hansen. Sheriff Hansen made national headlines for taking off his riot gear during a 2020 Black Lives Matter protest here in Flint and marching with his fellow citizens, sending a positive message of change to this community and its constituents.
So listen, I'm just telling you, these cops love you. That cop over there hugs people, so you tell us what you need to do.
Walk with us! 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 Walk with us!
Let's walk with us!
Okay, Genesee County Sheriff Chris Hansen.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor, Chiefs. GO started out of a concept that we knew that the issue was there, so how we're going to combat it. And it's proactive policing. It's different than answering 911 calls. You have to go out there. And what we've learned in Genesee County over 2.5 years through rescues, through reverse operations, much of which the media here has covered, is that we do identify people that live among us. 9 out of 10 of them don't even have a criminal history, that are still coming to have sex with underage kids. So as the sheriff mentioned, we get people from not just Genesee County, from our surrounding agencies, and we chat hundreds and hundreds of people. And part of that is bringing in talent that have seen what we've done around the nation that also want to document what they have done and what we have done. And together those forces really get conversations going, and people are now able to talk about this, and now you have the watchdogs that are out there. So one that we've been working with for months and months is Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen is very, very popular in his show through Catch a Predator, and when he reached out to us a long time ago to be a part of this, to use his platform to tell that side of the story, it was just a great connection. I met with the sheriff, the prosecutor, our professionals, and it was a unanimous agreement to bring his crew in. And I'd like to introduce Chris Hansen to you and to show you that this message is going to get bigger and bigger, and the residents of Shiawassee County and Genesee County should be proud that we are now the beacon of light when it comes to protecting our kids. So I'd like you to meet Chris Hansen.
Thank you, Sheriff. I first met Sheriff Hansen when we were doing some stories for Have a Seat with Chris Hansen in the aftermath of the George Floyd killing, and I had seen what the sheriff had done in Genesee County during a protest, and I invited him on the show, and we got talking about human trafficking. We ended up having a lot of people in common in law enforcement across the country, and we started talking about integrating, what I do, exposing predators, with the very fine work the Sheriff's Department does, and we were able to work it out. So Tuesday night, we were embedded in the operation, and I was able to confront the predators who showed up, one of whom had identified himself as a corrections officer for the state of Michigan, for Carson Prison. And we're going to provide you a clip of that interaction that I had with him through the sheriff's office here in Shiawassee County. So once again, as we've seen for some 16 years now, if there is opportunity, these predators will strike. And we hadn't done an investigation like this for a couple of years, and we had been talking internally with my team about doing it, and this opportunity presented itself. And once again, it shows that no matter how much dialogue or conversation or awareness, these people are out there. And in this case, we even saw a corrections officer with the state of Michigan. So it shows no boundaries still.
What? No, it's not. Hurry up! Come on! You would just get in here.
here, buddy. Come here. Get in. What I do? Lay down. Nice and easy. I didn't do nothing. That's right. You got a lock code on your phone? This one's in custody. Tom. Yeah. You got a lock code on your phone?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know.
George, is that yours?
Yeah.
100%.
That's one of my guys.
100%.
I have a knife.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's happening tonight?
Being stupid.
Being stupid. What do you mean by being stupid?
Lonely and made a bad decision.
Lonely and
I should have drove by and went to Burger King and went home with my son.
What's your name?
Tom
Tom, what's your last name?
Bates.
Bates. And how old are you, Tom?
At 45.
45. And how old was the girl you were here to see tonight?
She said she was 15, I believe.
15.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do anything with her.
You weren't going to do anything with her?
No.
Then why did you come here, Tom?
I was going to tell her, I was going to ask her, I was kind of getting to the point where, I mean, I was lonely, I wasn't going to do anything.
You weren't going to do anything? You're just going to come over here and read her a bedtime story?
No.
Watch a little football?
No. I was actually on my way to Burger King to get my son.
To get your son. How old is your son?
He's 14. He's
14.
home alone. I was going to stop and get him for dinner and just stop in here and
Just
flirt
to
with her.
have sex with a 15-year-old girl?
I was not going to have sex
Well,
with her.
come on, Tom. I've seen the transcripts, the chat.
Yeah, I was not going to have
Okay,
sex
but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I know it looks bad, but
Why would I possibly... Looks bad. It's very specific about what you want to do with this girl who you believe to be 15. Sexual acts. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
What am I to make of this?
I'm hoping you believe me that I wouldn't do anything.
But explain to me
It was just flirtation.
why I should believe you.
Because I've never done it before.
You've never done it before.
No.
When I run your criminal history, what will I find, Tom?
An MIP when I was 15.
Minor in possession.
Yes. Alcohol.
Have you ever chatted with an underage girl before?
No.
So tonight, out of all the nights in your 45 years, you decide to get online and chat up a 15-year-old girl in a sexually charged conversation, leaving your 14-year-old son at home, and you pop in here all wound up, ready to go.
I wasn't. I was just going to stop in and...
Did you bring condoms?
No.
Are there condoms in your car?
Absolutely not.
So you were just going to have sex with her without...
I was not going to have sex with her.
Do you see why I have a hard time believing that?
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do, but I'm honest.
If you're that honest, why are you here? Why didn't you just go to Burger King, get your son a Whopper, and head home?
I wish I had.
Now you're here telling me a Whopper of a story. You think it's funny?
I do not. Not a bit.
What do you think should happen to you?
I don't know.
It's a crime. What do you do for a living, Tom?
I do a heating and air conditioning for the state of Michigan.
Heating and air conditioning.
I work for downtown.
You work for the state?
Yes.
Doing what exactly?
I maintain the office buildings at the Capitol complex. For the,
So you work for the state of Michigan?
yes, I do.
Do you have to pass background checks for that work?
Yes, I do. I was getting the governor's residence when I was in a different zone.
So you used to go in the governor's residence?
Yes.
To work on heating and cooling?
Yes.
And here you are tonight?
I know. I messed up.
Trying to meet a 15-year-old girl?
I know.
Are you married?
My wife passed away a year ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I've never done anything like this before. I was just lonely, horny. I don't know.
Can't you just go to a bar or meet girls your own age? Or can't you just go to a bar or some other social setting or
I'm
meet
seeing
women your
someone.
own age? You're seeing somebody.
I am. I just started dating and
How are you going to explain this to her?
I don't know.
Your son?
I'm hoping I don't have to.
What did you bring with you tonight?
Just my wallet and I don't even have enough money to pay her. That was what she wanted. I didn't have the money to pay her.
But here's the problem, Tom. If you weren't going to do anything, why even mess with it in the first place? Why
To
even
me, it was
pop
just
in?
flirtation.
Flirtation is for online and teasing.
That's kind of what I wanted.
Showing
I kept
up.
asking her.
Showing up is more than flirtation.
That's why I didn't lie. I just wanted her to show me, and I was going to leave.
I don't buy it.
Okay. I understand.
Tom, there's something else you need to know.
Okay.
I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm doing a story on adults trying to meet children online for sex. What do you think should happen to you? You're in a bit of trouble here. What's the best thing you can say in your defense?
I'm sorry.
What should happen to you? I mean, help me out here.
I don't know.
No other explanation you want to give?
I don't know.
Okay. Tom, you're free to leave with these people right over there.
Just have a seat right there for me, too.
Sure.
Right this way, Tom.
Tom was a bit of a sad story, telling me that his wife died a little more than a year ago and he was lonely. But while you can feel some empathy for that in that situation, it doesn't excuse going to a place to meet a 15-year-old girl after a sexually charged conversation. It just doesn't. And so now this state employee here in Michigan is going to have to face the music in court. Why is it so important for a department like yours to do an investigation like this?
Because it's proactive. And, so many times agencies get into the mindset of just answering 911 calls. And that's important, but it's what you don't discover that is happening at the same time that is the most dangerous. And so that's why we do these.
What message does an investigation, an undercover operation like this, send to this community and to the entire nation?
That there's always a sheepdog there. And if people know that they could be caught, that's a great deterrent. And that's our goal.
Who are these guys? In one case, we've got a corrections officer. That's shocking on the surface of it.
They're among us. These are people that 9 out of 10 of them have no criminal history. The majority of them are married. They have families. They look and act and work in the same places that people work, look and act as normal. They have what I call a secret life. Sometimes, people talk about the subculture of life. That's what they are. They're part of a subculture of sexual deviancy.
We had a fellow who worked for the state of Michigan, was actually in the governor's residence at some point.
As a contractor, which goes to show that even among our own houses, we are not immune from people coming into our most intimate settings and having either a criminal history or a criminal history that's never yet been discovered. These are dangerous people. National stats will confirm, global stats will confirm that for those that are being trafficked under the age of 17, when the predator is caught, that it saves the life of 25 future victims.
25 victims.
Yeah. So we have a running total in Ghost as to how many people we arrest, multiplied by 25, and Ghost has saved hundreds and hundreds of future victims.
Flint, Michigan is a city on the rise. Its citizens and law enforcement are working together to promote communication, and their cops are keeping the bad guys off the streets. It was a pleasure to be here and work with Sheriff Swanson and his entire team. Until next time, I'm Chris Hansen. Bates, like the other men who surfaced in this investigation, is charged with child sexually abusive activity, accosting a child for immoral purposes, and using a computer to commit a crime. He could face up to 20 years in prison. He was arraigned just recently and so far has made no comment other than what he told me during the investigation. In the weeks ahead, you'll see more from the men caught in the latest sting, and we will continue to do more stings in the near future. Have a good night. I'm Chris Hansen. I'll be watching, and I'll see you soon right here on Have a Seat with Chris Hansen.